Hey up, it's History Boy coming at you with another video that I've been sort of putting off, kind of life, busy, work stuff, etc, etc. So I've had just a nice shot of me digging for nose gold there. Yeah, just been on a bit of a walk, did a shopping trip, and also wanted to do this recording outside because, well, you know, sometimes it's just better being out and about and doing a recording. And tell you what though, it's been hell of a time trying to find some privacy. I think I'm around the back of some care home. I don't think anyone will notice me or come round here. Some stupid German Shepherd guard dogs across from me to the left on some office building thing. So yeah, let's get on with the fact of the matter, subject of the matter. That is Ramblers, episode 2, and we're going to be talking about Captain Mayhew of the Topaz. He was born in Nantucket. In fact, I think a lot of his adventures were like the inspiration for Herman Melville's Moby Dick, because that was about a whaling ship and a whaling captain. Probably a lot less unstable than Captain Ahab though, but pretty much it seems the only difference in that story was with the ship was it wasn't the Topaz, it was the Pequod or Pico, whatever the pronunciation is. And this is related to the 4th of July week I did with the fun facts with Liam, which I do every Friday. I'll link that. I'll do that more. I'll try to link if I do references to episodes I've done. I'll try to link those in the description. So yeah, he was the one who discovered, or rather rediscovered, Norfolk Island in the Pitcairns, which is him and his crew are more or less the main reason, to cut a long story short, of why they celebrate, why they're the only technically Australian associated place that celebrates Thanksgiving, and it's because of them, because of the American whalers that I mentioned in that episode, and also, yeah, he was generally a navigator. I think he was in the Navy. His grandson definitely was. He was. His grandson. See, I accidentally tore up my my notes, so I'm kind of remembering offhand. And my short-term memory is like a sieve when I want it to rely on it. But basically, his grandson had the middle name Mayhew after his grandfather. His grandfather being the subject of the matter of the episode, Mayhew Folger, the captain of the Topaz, and his grandson, middle name Mayhew, as I'm calling him now, William Mayhew Folger, I think. Anyway, his grandson, the middle name Mayhew, that is, had quite a distinguished seafaring career himself. He was a rear admiral in the US Navy. Saw action in the Philippine-American War and the Spanish-American War, and was he was also Rear Admiral of the United States Asiatic Fleet, and before all that, he was he actually participated in the American Civil War, but he was there as like a, like he signed up. He actually never saw action. I think there were some naval battles then, but not many, and somehow he wasn't involved. But yeah, back to his granddad. Actually, digressing a bit, middle name Mayhew, was actually a lighthouse inspector before his entry into the Philippine-American War. Anyway, yeah, back to Granddaddy Mayhew. So, yeah, he was also connected to the mutiny on the Bounty, the stuff with Fletcher Christian and William Bligh, and there's a film about that, a couple of films, but most famous being the Marlon Brando one. Can't remember who else is in that. I haven't really watched it. I haven't really taken an interest, but basically, Captain Mayhew found the last surviving mutineer on the HMS Bounty. Found him in the Pitcairn Islands with some Haitians they've been there for probably a few hundred years at least, and yeah, going by the name John Alexander, who was actually called John Adams. Now, in the people mentioned bit on the video when I finally upload it, it'll probably mark him down as John Adams, the president, but it's actually John Adams, the mutineer, in brackets. I'm gonna put like a link to him, a reference, blah blah blah, to him in the description anyway. You know me, I always cite my sources. It's what I do for, well, more or less a living. Technically. Anyway, let's not ramble too much. Which I'm already doing, because I'm from Yorkshire and we're known for having a good chin wag, as we call it. Yeah, so this John Adams died in 1828, and there's an Adamstown somewhere in the Pitcairn Islands, and that's because he gave his name to that place, or rather, maybe Captain Mayhew did. And he did a lot. He travelled. He worked. I think he even worked alongside, like, GB, Navy stuff and all that, because, well, there's even some weird stuff around, or interesting weird stuff around his property, like his chronometer, his compass, for navigating by sea. When he died, that ended up in the possession somehow of a Spanish man called Castillo, and eventually, when Castillo, there's not really anything on this Castillo. I couldn't even find his last name. Is a mystery. So maybe he was murdered for the chronometer. Maybe he just died, or went missing, or just sold it, or, well, maybe gave it back to the family. His family, and yeah, Captain Mayhew Folger's family ended up with the chronometer, which they, in 1840, donated to the British Museum, and it's still there today. Yeah, so there concludes episode 2 of Ramblers by History Boy. Make sure to like, subscribe and comment. It's almost time for my supper now. Well, I say that. Insulin. But yeah, better going back before my shopping starts suffering from the sudden balmy winds. Not balmy as in crazy, but like with an L. Because it was sort of autumn windy. There's some kind of storm, or there was a storm that blew over to my side of the Atlantic. Can't remember what it's called. They all have names, obviously. Maybe that subsided now, or maybe it just buggered off to Scotland for all I know. But yeah, like, subscribe, comment, blah blah blah, and all the rest of it. And comments are always welcome, of course. Likes, all that, yeah, which I already said. And I'll see you in the next one, or whatever it is. Ta-ta for now.